What's up, guys? It's your girl Mac Cox with Maccouture Crafting. I am your quilty BFF, and on this channel we talk all things pop quilture. And I'm super excited because guess what? This week is Christy Lee week. Christy Lee reached out to me like almost a year ago and says, "Hey, I like what you're doing. Do you want to make some stuff with some fabrics that I have upcoming?" Now, this was probably one of the first times that anybody has ever recognized what I was actually doing and reached out. She's one of the first people who was like, "Hey, I like what you're doing." You guys, I was so flattered, so excited, and I wanted to really show off and produce for Christy. So I didn't make just one project. I made 5 projects because I'm me and I'm insane. So I did. So that's okay. This week is going to be all about Christy. Her fabrics are super cool. They all have a maker vibe about them. It's a maker line. It's about you. It's about the maker. It's a great line to encourage young people to make. Once you see it, you'll get it. Think of super cute sewing machines and scissors and seam rippers because you know we all hang out with Jack a little bit. A beautiful kind of a chalkboard feel to one of the fabrics. And then she's known for her rainbows. She goes by Quiet Play on Instagram. Please check her out. I'm going to show you guys the fabrics now that I was sent, but this is the line right here. I'm going to show you the line right here, somewhere around in here. It's absolutely gorgeous. I was very inspired. I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be able to be a part of something like this. She is a heavy hitter, and the other people that she has doing these projects are super duper heavy hitters. And then there's me. You know, there's me who just started quilting a few years ago, but she thought enough of me to reach out. So I thought enough of her to create 5 projects and give her a whole week on my channel to celebrate her and this amazing fabric line. So you guys, please be sure to come back daily and check out this whole week. There are going to be 4 videos that will be coming out for you guys. So again, love on Christy, love on this fabric line. It's gorgeous. It's right up my alley. It's rainbows and it's stuff about sewing. So you really can't miss. All right, guys. And also check out the other designers that she has on her fabric tour. She's doing a whole tour. And there are about, I don't know, there's quite a few of us. So check them out too. I will try to have them listed below so you guys know where to go to see all the awesomeness and see how people play with these fabrics and give you guys more ideas and inspiration. So again, if you haven't done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye. I don't know if I tell you guys this enough, but one of my favorite Fabric Cafe books is the one for kids. And I've done Checkmate at least once, maybe twice. And I'm sure I've given you guys some suggestions for it. It's got some really quick, cute blocks in here. Super cute. Depends upon how you want to dress it. I've got all kinds of ideas for these in here. Oh, I've done 9+1 also. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. But for this one, we're going to do big picture. Again, I have been given the new fabric by Christy Lee, and it's just amazing that she sought me out and was like, "Hey, you know, be awesome. Do you?" And so 3-yard quilt is me. And for this, I'm going to use big picture. And the reason why is because when I look at this, I see chalkboard. I don't know why I do, and I don't want to cut it. I just don't want to. I can't explain why I don't want to cut it, but I just don't want to break it up. So we're going to do big picture. And this is great for those prints that have something big happening on there. This would be really cool for a cave, but we are going to make it cool for this fabric right here. And we've got the not the black and white stripes, the white rainbow stripes. And then we have our background color, which is going to be, it says maker on it, which is super duper cute. And we have it in this red color here. And so I am going to get to it. This is going to be, I'm sure this is going to be our 1. And then the, let's see, I'll tell you. Where is big picture? Where you at? There you are. Yeah, so this is going to be our fabric number 1, which is our focal fabric. This background fabric here is going to be my fabric number 2, and then the stripes are going to be my fabric 3. Also, you don't often see me do a square quilt, and this is going to be a square quilt, and it's going to be really cute because we're going to do some things with this fabric. She sent me a lot of it, and so I am going to produce a lot of things. All right, guys, let's get started. I'm going to start with fabric 1, and it's really going to be quite easy. A lot of their patterns are what I would consider to be super duper easy, but this one doesn't even have like solid blocks. This one is just the fabric. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to press this and I'll be right back with you. All right, so I'm going to clean up this edge here. Where am I going to do that? Nope. Yep, we can do it. We're just going to clean up this edge. And then we will go on ahead and flip this bad boy around and actually make our next cut. I don't love that. That seems to be a little bit crooked. I'm going to straighten that up because I do want this to go straight. So I know I just cleaned up that edge, and I'm going to do it one more time, just trying to stay with the design here. You know, fabric comes on and off a bolt funky sometimes, but I just want to give it a fighting chance of being a little straighter. And I did press it a little bit, but I'm going to just straighten it up just a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to go on ahead and cut exactly what we need. And I did not do a good job of straightening this up, but that's okay. It will live. We will sew straight and we'll be okay. So my fold is over here to the right, and now I'm going to just take this measurement using my yardstick, and I love that I now have a Quilter Select yardstick, and I've just divided what I need by 2, and now I'm going to go on ahead and make this cut, and then whatever I have left over will be a scrap. Now that's done. And now I have my big block all done within just a few moments. Now let's go on ahead and cut that fabric 2 and 3, which should be easy also. So now we're working with this maker fabric. I love that it says maker on it. I am just too tickled. So now I'm going to do a couple of cuts for this, and I believe it's going to be the same for the other fabric. We're doing some borders and some focus borders, and then we'll just have like a regular border, so just bear with me. So for one of these, you have to cut a partial strip assembly, and so I'm going to put this to the side and show you guys what that means, because I remember the first time and I was like, well, do I cut the whole strip, or do I just cut a little bit of the strip, or what do I do? So don't let me forget, I'm going to come back and address the partial strip assembly part. So after cutting all of the strips that I need, plus the strips that I needed for my partial strip assembly, I still have all this fabric left over, which makes me happy because I got plans for it, but that might freak out some people, so I really wanted to make sure I showed you guys that, just in case. Now I'm going to grab one of these, and we're going to do the partial strip cut. There's a couple of ways you can do it. You can open this up and lay it to the amount that you need, or you can keep it folded because of the width, the length that I need. I'm going to just keep mine folded, and I'm going to just take my cuts, and then we are going to have another strip that is extra. So that's it. It is a partial strip. So like I said, you could choose to open it up, but I'm just going to take that there. Then I'm going to flip it around and take off the end because the fold is right here. And that is going to be, I only need one. And that will be for my partial strip assembly. So really, I feel like I have almost a quarter thing of fabric left over. Okay, so I have this much left over that's going to be added to this. How much do I have left over here? I'm going to tell you. So I have 12 inches left over. 12 inches by my width of fabric. So you really don't need a full yard for that. If you're trying to piece this together at home and you're like, hey, I wonder if I can, you probably can. Because I just had, from that yard cut, I had 12 inches left over. So this is what's left over, but not really. This would be for the binding, but I'm not going to bind it. I like to usually pull a different color for a binding and throw it in. I very seldom use the binding, but certainly have enough to do the binding, and now I have a little bit left over. I need to do a partial strip again because the two colors are cut very similarly. The fabric 2 and the fabric 3 are cut very similarly, except for here with this one, you need borders. You need borders for this colorway. The other fabric you don't. So we're going to cut this for this partial strip. And then we are going to get to cooking. This is going to be such a simple quilt. It's not going to take us any time to do. Which is also good for kids. Something that's super fast. And it's a finish. They will win, and so will you. So one of these will be a scrap, and one of them will keep. That's absolutely a gorgeous rainbow. So first, we are going to work with these strips, and I'm just sewing them all end to end, and then I will press them open, and that's how these are going to go. And then I'm going to go on ahead and use them to do the borders on that big strip. I'm going to cut them to size and then do a little pinning. Now it says just sew them together and it'll be fine. Sew the ends together and then just sew it onto the strip and then cut it even with your block. I don't love doing that because that's how you get wavy blocks. Just go on ahead and measure it to what it should be and then do some pinning, and then you'll have you have a better chance of having a straight border. So after sewing these together, I've cut them again because that's what we do as quilters. We sew stuff together and then cut it apart. I'm going to just pin this at the bottom and the top and just sew it together. They were cut to the same size, to the same length, I should say. And we're going to do the bottom, then we're going to do the top, and then we'll do the sides, and then we'll have our first border on. So now we have our top and bottom borders sewn on. There's the top and bottom. Now I'm just going to grab my iron and just press this back. And then I'm going to measure it, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the sides, so that way we'll have our entire first border on. So we've got our two full strips and one partial strip, and we are going to pair each one with another. And we're going to go right sides together. And we're just going to sew down one side. We're going to do that for every single pair. So we're going to get two full pair and one partial one. And again, we're just putting them right sides together, and we'll sew down the side. So now that these are all sewn together, I'm going to press toward a side. I think I'm going to press toward the red side, which means I'm just going to sit the red side up, or this watermelon side. I really don't know if it's red, if it's watermelon. I don't know. But we're going to sit that side up, and we're just going to push it back and iron it with the iron. Oh, so pretty. Just gorgeous. Love it. So now we have to subcut this, which is kind of cool. It's like my favorite part, sort of. This fabric here is directional, the one that has the words on it. So, you know, if that matters to you, be careful. For me, I just don't care. So, no biggie. No biggie for me. Not today. You know, there are definitely some days when I'm like, oh no, we've got to do X, Y, and Z. But today ain't that day, guys. So I'm going to take this and I am going to do this until I have, I think, 30. So from one full strip, I was able to get 12 pieces. This is what's left over from the small piece. I was able to get 5 extra ones, and the total that I need is 26. So I need 26 of these subcuts. So I really didn't even need to use as much as I used there. Oh well. So now that you need 26 pieces, excuse me, 26 pieces, and this is all that is left over from those strips. And so now we need to do some arranging. So now we are going to, like I said, just do some sets here. We're going to start with this color on the outside, and we're going to do a strip, which really this is about doing borders around a kind of a panel or fabric that you're making a panel. That's really all this is. Alrighty, so we're going to do this where you're going to do 6 across. For one row. So you need 6 of these in one row, and then the next border you're going to need 7 of them. So the same exact thing, but instead of 6 you want 7 of these out, and then you're just going to sew it all together, and that's going to make your border strip. Easy peasy, nothing to it, nice and simple. Almost as if a child could do this. Okay, so now after you do this, you just go on ahead and put these right sides together, sew, and just keep doing that until we get all of these connected. And again, you want to make 2 sets of 6 and 2 sets of 7. That seemed like it didn't take any time at all. So now they are all sewn together, and I'm going to press all these seams toward this little red guy right here. There's nothing to match up, but it just feels like the right thing to do. So now that we've sewn our pieces together, we've got 2 short ones and 2 longer ones. So it says that to do the first 2 on the sides, so we are going to do one just like this, and we're going to put the red in this top corner. And then for the other one, we are going to rotate this and put the red in that bottom corner. So they should not be the same. That way you get the every other when you put on the bottom part. So we're going to do the sides first. And I'm just going to pin this in place, or use some Wonder Clips just to keep this one in place, and sew it down. You guys know that I like to sew with the solid strip on the bottom, so that's what I'm going to do, and we'll go from there. Okay, so do one side, then do the other, but make sure that the red, if it's at the top here, you're going to put it at the bottom over there. So this has been sewn down on this side, and you see that I've got the red here and the stripe there. For the next one, we are going to sew the stripe up here And we're going to go right sides together, and I'm going to pin and sew that down. I just wanted to be sure to reiterate, these two should not be the same. So now we have pressed the sides here, and we're just going to match them up one with the other. And I did not do this side right. I was hoping that I was going to be able to press them the opposite direction, but I didn't. So I pressed this one going this way and this one going that way also. This is the seam that I'm talking about. And so if you press everything open, you won't even be running into this, and that's what the instructions suggest. But one side will nest, the other side will not, so you're just going to have to, you know, fix it the way that you see best fit. But this side nests, the other side will not, but I'm not even going to worry about that. So I'm going to sew on the sides. I'm going to do some pinning here to make sure that these come together in a nice way. And that'll be that. So now that this is all pieced lovely, we're going to add another border. Same border. Again, this is really just about borders going around a piece of fabric, and you can use yardage. It doesn't have to be a panel, which is nice. A panel will probably work too if it's the right dimensions, but sometimes like I can see this being done for a Cafe or Anna Maria, where you just want to focus on that fabric in the center. And again, this feels very chalkboardy to me. I don't know why, but it does. I guess it's because it's black and white, and I like it. And so I didn't want to cut it up, so I didn't cut it up. And I think there are some really good options for this type of quilt. It's fun. If this were a baby quilt, this would be super cool also. So now in order to do the next one, we're going to do the next border just like we did the last border. Same thing. I'm going to measure it, and then I'm going to cut this strip, and then I'm going to sew it on, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the outside border. And that's going to be it. There's nothing really super duper special or different or difficult about this. This is again in the kids book, and it feels like a kid appropriate quilt or a really fast, easy, cool make depending upon how you choose your fabrics. So I'm going to do that, and then when we come back, this should be done. We're going to finish it. And just like that, we are all finished with this quilt. This was fast and really simple. And again, it's really just borders that are being put on this. It's just borders around just a big piece of fabric, which I like. I like it for so many things, like those underwater, not panels, yardage that you see. I think this would be so pretty for that. I also like them for the chestmate, which is also in the same book. So I like that you can, I like that. I like that they're in the same book. I'm going to go outside and take some pictures like usual. I don't know if I'm going to finish this one, as in go have this one quilted, but I really like it. I might finish this one and have it quilted. We'll see. And don't forget about Queenie's $20 deal. She's $20 for a queen size quilt right now. So I'll put her information in the description bar. But other than that, I think this came out really pretty. I really like the colors, and I'm excited to do the other pieces that are going to go with this.